folks, I'm Ron7. Welcome back to Reading Every DC Comic Day 33. Today, we will read 10 comics as we always do, and we'll be done in about 18 years. The first comic we read today was Crack Comics number 5. Nothing happened. Not a lot happened. A lot of these are just kind of empty. Not empty. There's a lot of stories in them, but all of them were boring and ass, and so I don't talk about them. Next, we move on to Detective Comics number 43, where we actually have a pretty fun Batman comic. Batman actually gets kind of Truman Showed. He gets Truman Showed a little bit. Kind of Truman Showed, not really, but he finds a fake town. And, I'll get into that a little bit. Bruce and Dick take a vacation from crime fighting. They decide they need a vacation. So, they arrive at a hotel in the town they're staying at, and they witness police brutality in person. There's some police exercising their powers inappropriately. Over exaggerating their power over someone. You know what I mean? When Bruce tries to ask about what happened with some of the people after it finishes, because he doesn't stop it while it's happening for some reason, people ignore him and walk away nervously. That night, Batman begins to investigate. He saves a man named Carter, who was about to be killed by the police for speaking up against the mayor. Turns out the town has been taken over by a dirty politician named Greer, who was taking orders from a racketeer named Bugs Norton. All the police force was fired and replaced with Norton's thugs. This also might be the first time people are shown as directly being scared of Batman. I don't remember that happening in any of the previous issues. I could be wrong, but I think it is. Batman and Robin eventually track down a truck full of dope and stop it. This isn't really connected to the plot. It's Bugs Norton's drug truck, right? It's his drug truck. And Batman and Robin stop it, I guess. But the drug stuff isn't connected to the main plot at all. They don't mention drugs at all. That's not like part of Bugs Norton's plan or anything. It's just a thing that happens. And then they start going around and dismantling slot machines that are in like every store, and they destroy all the slot machines, which, by the way, is a Superman plot that happened a while ago that we talked about. That's just a Superman plot, straight up. Someone's put in slot machines in the stores, and the superheroes gotta go around and destroy all the slot machines and save the kids from gambling. That explains both of these storylines, the Superman and this Batman one. Batman and Robin begin kidnapping cops. I guess they're not cops. I guess they're gangsters pretending to be cops, but still. I don't really know what they do with them. They never explains what they do with them. They just kind of disappear. They rally the citizens together and form a revolution to take back the town. Norton and Greer are defeated, and Batman and Robin get statues, which is pretty cool. I thought this issue was fun. Like I said, that wasn't exactly a Truman Show deal, but it was kind of. It was a little bit. Not really. I just said that to clickbait you. Sorry. But it was good. It was fun. That's all I can say. That's all I can really say about these 40s comics, right? They're all fun, but there's not a whole lot of substance. And there's that drug stuff was very clearly, and the slot machine stuff was very clearly just to fill up pages. Also, something I've noticed about. Actually, I'm going to bring that up at the end. When I've talked about some more stuff. Feature Comics number 36. Not a whole lot happens. Flash Comics number 9. Oh yeah, Feature Comics, actually I fucking hate. I hate Feature Comics with all my heart. Sometimes I would rather kill myself than read Feature Comics, but I have to because it's my job. It's not my job, actually. I'm doing this out of my own volition. I don't get anything out of this. Flash Comics number 9. Some scientists discover a way to make giant Gila monsters, which are a type of lizard, I think. Flash is kind of slow in this issue. He runs, it takes him 3 hours to get 300,000 kilometers or something. There's a big distance that he crosses in 3 hours, but Flash nowadays can do that distance in a second. So yeah, he was a lot slower back in this time. Also, his speed is really inconsistent here. I guess the Flash's speed in general is really inconsistent generally. It's very inconsistent, actually. Some bank robbers force the scientist who made the giant Gila monsters to make more of them and help them rob banks. And for some reason, there's also a little electric switch that he has that can control them, but that never gets brought up outside of one panel. One panel where one of the thugs mentions it, and then it's never brought up again. It's not part of the solution. It's just never mentioned. Hit Comics number 3, not much here. Master Comics number 6, not much here. More Fun Comics number 59, we have The Spectre. So Jim is asked to help stop the theft of a bunch of furs that are disappearing and getting stolen from trucks. And it turns out the truck driver is helping the fur thieves steal the furs and for a cut. Dr. Fate cruise ship is attacked by aliens. I'm not kidding. That's the Dr. Fate issue. So in the same comic, More Fun Comics number 59, we have the Spectre stopping fur thieves and Dr. Fate fighting aliens. These are in the same exact comic issue. And it's like weird. I read the whole Dr. Fate issue. Well, I read all of them, but it's hard to explain. They come down in a ship and they attack a cruise ship and try to attract it towards an island, and the Dr. Fate just kind of defeats them. And they have these weird energy balls. It's very intriguing. Mystery Men Comics 14, not much happening there. National Comics number 3, not much happening there, unless you want me to talk about the Make America Great Again guy. No, that's Donald Trump. I'm talking about the Uncle Sam, unless you want me to talk about Uncle Sam, who is the main feature in National Comics. He is. But I'm not talking about him. Slam Bang Comics number 7, not much happening there. So, those are all my comics for today. That's my 10 for today, day 33. We are back at dailies. I will be uploading something special on October 31st, so be ready for that. I did want to say this for the end. A lot of these older comics feel very... There's not much conflict. Obviously, every issue has conflict, every story has conflict, but there's not much, conflict within the conflict, you know what I mean? Like, there aren't many obstacles. Like, in a Batman story, in a Detective Comics issue, the Batman part, there'll be the main conflict, right? And the entire comic will just be Batman solving that, which is fine, that makes sense, that's fine. But he won't run into any obstacles stopping him from that. Or he'll run into obstacles, but he'll immediately pass through them. Like, he doesn't ever get stopped at any point, right? He just kind of cruises on by, and the entire issue is just kind of him cruising on by. This happens with Superman and the Flash and the Spectre and Dr. Fate and all these superhero characters too. Slam Bradley, I know, but at least older Slam Bradley issues, because I don't like Slam Bradley's art style now. But this would be a little different. No, it happened with Slam Bradley too. Sometimes they do well with it, sometimes they do well with the different obstacles, but sometimes it just feels like filler to fill out pages. Sometimes they're just not super well written, I guess. They're fun, and there's not much else to say about them. They're fun, and some of them have like good messages, but there's not much else you can say about them. They're not the best written comics ever. They're creative, I'll give them that. Dr. Fate did fight aliens today on a cruise ship who had energy balls, and so I guess that's pretty creative. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!